So I've been thinking about making something along the lines of Evil Eye, you know, the blue piece of glass with the white and blue black circles in the middle to look like an eye. But then also something to do with mirror magic, and since I couldn't find like a proper Evil Eye that I liked, and I'm sure you could probably find them online, I just didn't find ones that I liked for the right price. So I was thinking about making one of my own on actual mirror to incorporate mirror magic and the Evil Eye, which I think go together very well. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. And a heads up, it's really, really windy outside tonight. So if you hear whistling and whatnot, that's the strong wind outside. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing an eye shape. I'm going to be doing it like a regular eye shape with the circles on the mirror instead of the circle. I could do also just the circle shape with the smaller circles going into the middle. That would work well with the shape of mirror. But I actually want some of the mirror to show instead of taking up the whole thing, so I'm going to do I like the eye shape one. I'm going to do that. But I found just sort of I found and modified just sort of a protective blessing type of thing. And I modified it for myself and made a little sigil there for myself, but I'm going to use a sigil on other parts of the house. But I actually want to write what I have there, the actual words, on the back here. I'm not sure if I want to do silver or if I want to do it in black, and then you know how when you write with a black pen on black, you can still see like that sort of red sheen of the ink. That's what I'm hoping for here, so it's a little more subtle, but it's still all there. And then I might just do a pentacle with the silver on the back in the middle there. So I'm going to do that first. I don't know if you can see it there. I got the word let on there so far. So it'll be there, but it'll be subtle. Move into better light so I can see what I'm doing. So I finished putting on the writing at the back here. I don't know if you can see it. It's subtle, and which is kind of what I wanted. And then the middle is more prominent. The sigil I put in the middle of the pentacle. And then I'll be hanging it by these holes here, so that it will be the upright probably. Storing it for the last couple days while I've been thinking about this with my mahogany obsidian and smoky quartz. So anyways, I let this dry, and it should be good to go like this. You're gonna make sure all your fingerprints are off of it. And before you start writing on the back, I used a permanent black marker on the back and this silver paint pen. You want to make sure that the back has all your fingerprints off of it before you start too, because that can mess with the permanentness of the markers. You know where the top is. So my top is like this. You don't want to turn it too much until you get your design down. You're also going to need paint brushes. So I'm going to start with blue first, and this is a Colbet blue, which is basically what the glass color is that they use. Check. Get rid of the streakiness, because that's just kind of part and parcel of painting on glass. You'll probably have to go over it twice with the color. Here's my shape. It's not symmetrical. I kind of was going for like eye shape, like an actual eye shape. But anyways, I'll let this dry. So next one is white, and I'm going to be using this just as a round something to trace with. Again, you're going to want to do 2 coats with this probably if you want to get it not streaky. So I actually had to do about 3 coats of white because the blue is just so dark underneath. So it's all dry now, and I'm going to be using this as my guide. I've pre-mixed the white and the blue together. Just a little dabs of blue until I got the color I wanted. I wanted sort of the sky blue color. I'm just gonna paint the edges here. Excuse my cat that's having a meowing fit. Didn't work as well as I thought. So the middle part is dry, and I cleaned up the corners, a little bit of because my brush was a little bit old and had some bristles sticking out. I got some blue where I didn't want the blue, so I cleaned it up with a little bit more white. And now I'm going to put the black pupil on. I'm going to be using this as my, as sort of my guide for the black. I'm going to use the inside of the lid like that. Okay, so note to self, don't use a wet cloth to clean up mistakes. So I have to redo this little part of blue here now. So that's pretty much the way I want it, and I'm just going to add a black outline to the eye, which kind of draws the inside out. Like eyeliner, it's better to do short strokes of the paintbrush than one long one. Since we're going right over top of the mirror mostly again, I might have to do a second coat just if it gets streaky. How the black kind of ties the middle into the outside, and I don't know, I think it just looks good that way. I was debating putting black lines around each color, but I don't think I'd like that as much. I don't think it would be as good. So I like the black on the outside and in the middle. I think it sort of ties it all together nicely. My lines aren't great. I might clean them up with the second layer of black just to make sure that the lines are all non-streaky. But yeah, I'm kind of liking the way it turned out, and I like the way the back turned out too, with the writing just subtly on there. Experimenting with some nail polish just to sort of seal this after what happened when I tried to clean up the edges and whatnot with a damp cloth, and it started to sort of peel away after a bit. I think I'm going to put a little bit of a nail polish sealer on there. I realized that I don't have any proper regular nail polish, clear nail polish top coat, except for one that's very old and is a tinted color. But I do have this gel one, which is a little bit different, but it should still do the job, so that's what I'm going to use. Make it a little bit shinier, but that's okay. I want to get it a little bit onto the clear glass just to really seal it on there. A little bit more of a shine to it. There, you can sort of see the shine. Yeah, I did 2 coats, so it should be sealed in there pretty good, hopefully. So I don't know if you can see this, but to connect it, I just put a safety pin in there and tied a piece of light thread to it to hang it by. So that should hold it pretty good. So here it is in the window at the front door. It's just slightly bigger. I thought it would fit in this little spot better than it does, but it's just like a few millimeters off from fitting in the window properly. But anyways, there it is there from the inside. And I think that's kind of cool. I like the way it turned out. That's my evil eye mirror. Right.